As we come to the final band of morning at NTV, we get to look at something exciting, effectiveness of the Uganda Tourism Board in promoting Uganda, and this is on the global stage. Uganda having greatly had the potential for sustainable tourism, boosting abundant natural beauty, and of course the fascinating cultural diversity. Now, the country's relatively unspoilt environment is also ideal for eco-tourism. However, as a country, our tourism sector is still developing, and it's equally also facing several challenges. Among the solutions that we do have to promote Uganda to the rest of the world is Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo that comes to us on an annual basis, and this is slated under the Uganda Tourism Board, and we definitely want to have a better understanding of how it propels us to where we want to be as a country, where we see ourselves as the pride of Africa, calling ourselves the Pearl of Africa, and how it makes us competitive not only with the region but also on the continent. Joining us is the Executive Director, Uganda Tourism Board, Juliana Kagwa. You're most welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Very well.
Yes.
Before we go any further, please remind us of the renewed and continued mandate of the Uganda Tourism Board.
Well, Uganda Tourism Board's mandate is very simple, and it is to sell Uganda, promote Uganda as a premium and sustainable tourism destination. Ours is a simple vision, even a child can remember it. It is to grow our tourism sector to deliver 50 billion US dollars by the year 2040. Our vision as Uganda generally, under the ATMs, agriculture, tourism, mineral sectors, and science and technology, is a tenfold growth plan. We plan in there as tourism to deliver 25-fold growth, and that's the 50 billion US dollars I'm talking about. Yeah.
All right. So under the Uganda Tourism Board, they do have a very interesting initiative known as Poate.
Yes.
My first encounter with Poate was actually during COVID-19, where I was thinking, okay, you've done it before. Now COVID-19 is here. Are you really going to have Poate? And interesting to note, they did it, and it was a virtual expo, and it was actually one of the best virtual expos and experiences that I attended at that time.
Yeah.
And I kept wondering, okay, what will happen the following year and the following year and the following year? So we want to find out 2026, what makes Poate outstanding, unique, and different from all the other expos we've had previously?
Well, first of all, Poate, as you've so elaborately described, is not a new feature on the Ugandan calendar. This is the 10th edition that we'll be coming into in 2026. Poate is therefore, a double-digit baby right now. And so very, very proud as not just Uganda Tourism Board, but I think as Uganda to have been hosting this kind of tourism exhibition that allows all tourism value chain players to come together and showcase, all things Uganda and put our best foot forward as Destination Uganda. But the Pearl of Africa Tourism Exhibition is not just for Uganda or Ugandans. We invite and also host a plethora of other nationalities, not just regional, but international. So the Pearl of Africa Tourism Exhibition has come to be one of those calendar events that allows for tourism regionally as Africa, for us to showcase all the things that make us quintessentially distinct as a destination. 2026 is even more exciting than all the other Poates or Pearl of Africa tourism exhibitions that we've done, simply because we will be bringing in one or two new elements, and it really pleases me to be announcing, I think almost for the first time on national television, some of the things that we will be bringing that are different and bring a bit of spice to our 10th edition of Pearl of Africa Tourism Exhibition. The first one being that we will be introducing a day of street food. I think one of those things that makes us Ugandan is part of our culture, part of the fabric of our culture is our food. There's the music, there's the dance, and there's the people, obviously, but there's the food. And I think our food has been undercalled for a little bit. And because the Pearl of Africa Tourism Exhibition will be home for 3 days to all nationalities across the globe. We think it's a very unique opportunity and a timely one to showcase our street food delights, and not to mention all of them at once, but
top on the list is the roller.
not to make you hungry this cold morning. But Rolex will be
Yes,
featured.
yes.
We'll be featuring kabalagala. We'll be featuring a bit of roasted mogo. Depending on the season at the time, we might do a bit of nsenene. We want them to be fresh.
Mugoyo, you should add some
Mugoyo,
mugoyo.
and I don't need to tell you that Ugandans, we're synonymous for good food, healthy food, organic food, and we feel that since we will have all these people from across the globe, why not show them Ugandan hospitality from ground zero? From the base, which starts with the food. There's the people, there's the music I've already talked about, but then there's the food. So we're really excited to be having a street food opportunity for not just the local domestic visitors, but our international visitors.
Okay, you've definitely got my attention. So asking on behalf of the other foodies, will the street food be across the 3 days?
I said 1 day.
1 day. Okay.
Please don't put words in my mouth, because then the exhibitors will be like, no, this was promised. No, what we've negotiated, because we will be hosting the Pearl of Africa Tourism Exhibition on May 21st to May 23rd. It will be at the Munyonyo Speak Resort at our Commonwealth Convention Center. And it is a hotel in itself, so we don't want to also compromise the service and the hospitality and what the staff there have prepared, because we're putting our best foot forward, as I've already mentioned. It is a showcase of Uganda's best, and our convention center must also shine, and all the amenities within there. So street food will be on the 3rd day.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, you mentioned 2 things. So what's the other unique element to this edition?
Thank you. I thought you'd never ask. So this year, we're taking our Poate 2026 a little further than just being a land exhibition. We believe that because our exhibition or our tourism expo is already unique because it is sitting on the shores of the largest tropical lake in the world, there's no reason for us not to take advantage of that particular element. So for the last 9 editions or so, the event is hosted primarily on land at Speak Resort, as I've already mentioned. We have a lot of breakout sessions, a lot of panel engagements. We've got world-renowned tourism keynote speakers coming into the country. All the activity has been within the convention center and on land there in Munyonyo. This year, we're extending it into the water. So we're going to have a few breakout sessions on the lake. Of course, we're showcasing Uganda to our hosted buyers. So not everyone who's there, domestic visitors and otherwise, might make it out onto the lake, courtesy of Uganda Tourism Board. But for sure, our hosted buyers, and these are the tour operators who will be coming into Uganda to start to unpack, immerse themselves in all things Uganda. 100+ hosted buyers that we've registered to date. They will be taken out onto Lake Victoria so that they can experience everything we write about, we tweet about, things we IG about. We want them to get out onto the water, experience the sunset, experience the waves. So imagine having a breakout session. You know how they typically can be, sometimes they get a bit boring. You're in a stuffy room, someone's telling you something you already know about. Imagine a digital AI session on a boat on Lake Victoria as the sun sets.
Okay, now that propels me into another question,
Yes.
which I think is something that the Tourism Board is driving towards.
Yes.
Moving away from promoting Uganda as a wildlife destination, the gorillas must be tired of posing on behalf of Uganda.
The gorillas, yes.
How else are we propelling Uganda to be a tourism destination to the rest of the world beyond the wildlife?
Yeah, and that's the other thing with Poate this year. We really want to demonstrate to our visitors who will be coming in internationally and even our domestic ones, so you also invited domestic visitors. We want to demonstrate that Uganda is actually way more, so much more than just wildlife and landscape. Uganda is a culture, steeped in culture, destination. We have over 60 tribes that boast of different, nuances, whether it's the food I've already talked about, whether it's the music, whether it's the dance, whether it's the dress, whether it's the arts and the crafts. We want to immerse people in those 3 days in all things beyond wildlife. And even our wildlife, if you allow me, is a bit unique. So when we talk about the big five in Africa, everyone is known, renowned, the big parks, you know them, the Serengetis of this world, the Kruger parks. Everyone boasts of the big five. Uganda is unique because we've got the big seven. Uganda is the primate capital of the world, and that will be brought to life on May 21st, May 23rd. We want the world to know that whatever experience you've ever flown to Africa for, whichever corner of Africa you've been to,
Uganda is a one-stop destination.
Uganda is your one-stop destination.
Wow. Okay.
To get all things Africa.
That's amazing. How do we get all Ugandans and, of course, all the other stakeholders that you're targeting to Powate 2026?
To Powate. So we're doing really well on registration. That is the good news. And every exhibition globally and regionally is only as good as its registration, as its registrar, or how many people have expressed interest in attending. So we're oversubscribed for some of the elements, and they're essentially 3 target customers or target audiences for us. This is the hosted buyers I've spoken about, which is the tour operators, international tour operators who are selling Africa destinations, selling Uganda. Some have never even sold Uganda, some have never been, but they've been selling other parts of Africa. Mm-hmm. We want to host about 100 of those, 100 plus. So we've budgeted and essentially made plans for around 100 plus hosted buyers. As I've said, that is already oversubscribed because there's so much interest, so much appetite for Uganda right now internationally. Okay. And you know what's happening globally. So we're getting more than our fair share of hosted buyers. The second tier is the exhibitors, which is our tour, our value chain players. So that's everybody ranging from the hoteliers. So all our hotels will be there showcasing, putting their best foot forward. Our tour operators, the people who actually put together itineraries for tourism. And then of course our tour guides, right. The people who are on the front line, they will also be available and engaging at Munyonyo. And then the last but not least in any way is our citizenry. The Ugandan citizenry, which is why I'm here today. It is to invite Ugandans to come one, come all. The business of selling Uganda, the business of unpacking, explore Uganda.
It's for all of us.
Is for every single citizen of Uganda. Okay. So come one, come all.
All right, so let me add to that. My Kenyan friends, Tanzanian friends, and Rwandan friends must all be here in May to experience this Uganda at Powate 2026. You can just type in Powate 2026 across different social media platforms, and you can get the details on how you can attend in your different capacities and with the hats that you wear. That brings us to the end of our conversation with Juliana Kagwa, who is Executive Director to Uganda Tourism Board. And she's opened up our eyes that there's more than meets the eye. Uganda can be a one-stop center, and equally Morning at NTV has been a one-stop center. We say thank you so much for tuning in. Have yourselves a wonderful day.
Thank you.